In this video, I'm going to build a DC to DC voltage booster that will boost a 1.5 volt battery to 47 volts, which will be enough to illuminate our 47 volt LED filaments. The parts we'll be using today in this project is a single 47 volt LED filament, a BN235 NPN transistor, a SR2100 Schottky diode, and it must be a Schottky diode. And this one's rated at 100 volts. A 63 volt capacitor. I recommend a 0.47 microfarad. This one's a little larger, doesn't need to be that large. A 0.47 would work fine. Just make sure it's rated for 63 or above, because this will generate close to 50 volts. A 1200 ohm resistor, quarter watt's fine. And a toroidal coil. This one is a 30030 center tap. Couple jumper wires and a battery or a power source. I have a battery holder here to make it easier to go into the breadboard. The most important part on this list is the toroidal coil. If you know how to make one, then go ahead and if you already have one, go ahead and make one. This is the way I did it. There's different other tutorials on YouTube that can explain how to make one. But basically, I measured out 6 feet of 30 gauge enamel copper wire, and then I folded in half and I twisted the end. I started winding the copper coil wire through the core, wrapping it tightly, at least 30 times. Once the wrapping's finished, remove the varnish off the wire's ends with a sandpaper until bare copper appears. Cut the loop you made, and in 2 steps, this is the halfway point in the windings. Label all 4 ends. Beginning L1, beginning of L2, the end of L1, and the end of L2. And L just means line. L1, beginning, goes to the resistor. L2 goes to the collector of the transistor. And L1 and L2 beginnings are twisted together and goes to the positive side of the battery. I'll show you when we get to the building of this project to see that. Using our breadboard, we're going to place the twisted end. See where those 2 lines are twisted? Those will go into the plus side of our breadboard rail. Next, we'll get our transistor. first leg of our transistor is the emitter. The middle leg is the collector, and then the third leg is the base. Next, we'll place our resistor, 1200 ohm resistor, on the collector side, the base of the transistor, to L1 beginning of the toroidal coil. So this is my L1 beginning of my coil, and that's what I labeled it. So I'm going to place this resistor over here like that. So base of transistor over to L1 beginning of the toroidal coil. Next, we're going to place our Schottky diode, sorry. And that's going to go to the collector pin